What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every single morning we are here thanks to BettingPros.com, thanks to BetMGM, always being found on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. The offer from BetMGM, $20 to win $100 on any event. Use the promo code JUICE100 when you do that at BetMGM, and I have got 2 Week 0 college football bets to give you. Okay. Here's where we're going today. We've got a baseball play and 2 college football plays. Now, why? Well, it's because it's Tuesday, and I don't love the slate. Baseball is boring me, and I can't wait to bet football, so might as well give it to you guys now and then let you guys go in. We may have other plays. It's the first weekend of college football. So, I told you at some point I would start betting college football because I don't want to bet preseason anymore. And I won't go heavy on preseason football. Last night, we got burned the -4 after, up 24-3, whatever it was. The Saints just stopped playing. And that's preseason, and it was a bad beat with, I think the first half did cash, actually, but the over did not. I think it was 17.5 or something like that. The under in the first half came in. The over of the game hit. I was on the over personally, but it wasn't enough to make up for the loss. It was a sprinkle, a tiny sprinkle on the over. So we got that wrong with -4. Got the over right, which was, I should have been fully into that, but I kind of, because I had been a little wishy-washy on overs, but that over did come in. And then we get the walk-off, unbelievable, come from behind, down 4-1. Cubs rally against the Rockies, and they get the victory. And we cashed that -127 wager for the Cubs. So the losing, unfortunately, we have a losing day, a 1-in-1 day, down the juice, down tiny, but it snaps the 3-day winning streak that we were on. So that's unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is, and it's fine. So before I give you the picks with 2 college football plays and 1 Major League Baseball play, let me tell you about a new sponsor for the Daily Juice. And this is always really exciting whenever we get a new sponsor to come in and be a part of the Daily Juice family. And I want you guys to hear me and use these guys if it makes sense. I want to tell you about a new game from the guys over at Bleacher Book. They have created a great concept that allows you to play against your friends in a league-style betting format to figure out who really knows what they're talking about when it comes to betting on the NFL. It's time to ditch those old, boring fantasy football leagues and get into the action. You can create weekly or season-long leagues. These are fully customizable. As the commissioner, you get to decide the length of the league, a max number of players, your starting wallet amount, the minimum bet requirements, and more, all with Bleacher Book. Bleacher Book gives you the thrill of sports betting without losing your shirt. Compete against your friends for betting glory. I'm going to do this with a couple of buddies of mine who we love talking smack back and forth. I'm going to jump in here because this sounds extremely fun to do this. If you don't want to bet and get all, into dollars and cents with your friends, this is an awesome way to do it. Go get signed up at bleacherbook.us. That's bleacherbook.us. Start creating your own league today. Use the promo code JUICE20. That's JUICE20 to get 20% off any Bleacher Book league that you create coming up this upcoming season. That's bleacherbook.us. Bleacherbook.us. Big bets, no regrets. Promo code JUICE20. Now a sponsor of us here on the Daily Juice Podcast. That's bleacherbook.us. Okay, so let's do football first, and then we'll get into the baseball parlay. And I have a 2-leg money line parlay going in baseball because, as I said, I don't love the slate. I may come back with one more play in the Discord channel. I have a half unit going today. I may have another half unit later on after I do my radio show and do some research and look around for some things. There might be another bet that I get into with baseball today. But let's start with Illinois and Nebraska. All right. So Illinois, I think the hiring of Brett Bielema has been kind of undersold for Illinois. This is a dude who knows the Big Ten inside and out. This is a really good coach, okay? He's gone to the NFL. He's come back. He's taken all that NFL knowledge and all the college football success he has had. And yeah, things have kind of flamed out for him, and he's had his own off-the-field issues, but he's back in college football now, taking on Scott Frost in Nebraska, okay? I was wondering, and I talked to somebody last night, and I said, look, am I going to get 7.5? And the answer was no. that the books are not going to go over unless there is a tremendous amount of money, and I mean a tremendous amount of money coming in here on Nebraska for it to go to 7.5. That's a key number. The books do not want to go to 7. They went from 7 to 6.5, back to 7. To go to 7.5 is probably not going to happen. Now, Nebraska has got some interesting, they're bringing back their quarterback in Adrian Martinez. They've got a better wide receiver group than they've had in recent memory. Their defense should be improved, but Scott Frost has got a bunch of off-the-field issues rolling around. And remember, I covered Nebraska for 5 years, so I've been talking to my friends all offseason about Scott Frost and Scott. There's a lot of negative scuttlebutt going on about Scott Frost and what he's doing off the field, okay? The investigation into what he did during COVID with practice is not what I'm talking about, okay? There are all sorts of things flying around that Scott Frost is not fitting in well. How about that? He came back, and maybe the best thing for him is that Trev Alberts just became the athletic director at Nebraska because his friend's there, and that does give him some insulation, but he needs to clean up his act. He's going on the road in game number 1. You guys already know I bet under for Nebraska when it comes to win totals here. Nebraska averaged less than 24 points per game last year, less than 400 yards of offense. This is Scott Frost from Florida, right? He's going to bring in this unbelievable offense like he had in Florida. No, it hasn't really worked out that way. I know Adrian Martinez is back for his 4th year. I'm just not a huge fan of his, to be quite honest. And, they've got some skill players that are better, and they should be a little bit better with some transfers coming in. But the Illini, I think having a coach like Brett Bielema is gigantic for this matchup. Brandon Peters is back at quarterback, a guy who's thrown for 25 touchdowns, a guy who played at Michigan to start his career, and now he is back. The running back room here, I think Chase Brown could have a big game here. This is going to be a run-first football team because of the fact that it is Brett Bielema. And for that reason, do you want to trust Nebraska to cover a 7-point line? I do not. I think a sprinkle on the money line for the Illini is not a horrible idea. I'm going to wait and see what the money line prices look like as we get closer before I get involved. But I'm going to take the 7 points right now here with Nebraska, and I think this is a low-scoring game. I don't hate a play on the under. I don't think we're going to get 55 points in this game, but I think both teams are going to run the football. The turnover battle, as always, is really important. But I think keeping Adrian Martinez in the pocket and making him throw the football is going to be a monster key, and that's where coaching comes in. And I think there's a big coaching edge with Brett Bielema over Scott Frost right now. He's got all sorts of questions. The hot seat is there. Nebraska fans are not happy. And the Illini last year went into Memorial Stadium in Lincoln and won 41-23. It was their first win in Lincoln since 1924. They only won 2 games all last year. And one of these 2 wins came against Nebraska. So, I mean, they match up fairly well. They're not going to be overly intimidated by Nebraska saying, okay, we won at their place, and now here we're opening up this season. And everyone has these high expectations. There's a lot of sharp money coming in on the over 6.5 wins for Nebraska. Okay, there's been a lot of people, pros like the over here. They think the schedule is, not as tough as everyone says. The public has come in on the under. It's a pros versus Joes matchup, and I'm comfortable running with the Joes here when it comes to Nebraska because I've seen this story before. I think they win 6 games. I don't think they get to 7, and I think this could be one of the games they get off to a rough start here on the road against Illinois, and this is a team that has had a really hard time winning on the road. In Lincoln, I probably would have a different opinion of this game if this game was being played in Memorial Stadium, but it's not. It's being played on the road at Illinois, and I think that's a huge opportunity and a monster chance for Illinois here out of the gate with Brett Bielema. A lot of excitement for Brett Bielema. I think we could see a tight football game here between these two. Nebraska goes home for Fordham, and they go home for Buffalo after this game until they take on Oklahoma on the road. But their road games are at Illinois, at Oklahoma, at Michigan State, at Minnesota, and at Wisconsin this year. They won 3 games last year. I just don't see them winning road games. They won at Rutgers and at Purdue last year, so okay, great. I just don't think Nebraska is going to be very, very good this year. I'm taking +7, Illinois, 1 full unit, okay? Full unit bet, Illinois, +7, hosting Nebraska to start the NCAA season, week 0 as they're calling it, to start the year. This is, if you're in Illinois, sorry you can't bet on this. This stinks because I think a money line sprinkle is not a bad idea here. I think the Illini get better defensively. They're better offensively. They keep the game close, and they might just win the game outright. But give me the 7 points. Illinois +7. Home dogs to start the college football season. Play number 1 for 1 full unit. Second play, also for a full unit. Let's talk about UCLA and their game against Hawaii. So a lot of people think this is going to be a high-scoring game, but the public's coming in here on the over, and the number actually has moved the other way. There's some reverse line movement going on here as some professional money's coming in here on the under of this game. I mean, it's down to 68 in some places, opened up at 70 because both these teams' offenses can roll here, okay? So you've got a quarterback coming back in Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who's been out for a little bit here in the fall, but he's back now. He should be good to go for this game for UCLA. UCLA is returning a ton of talent, and this is an offense loaded with veterans, and Chip Kelly has got this program humming along. It's been really fun. I'm a big Chip Kelly fan. I mean, I worked in New Hampshire, so I know Chip Kelly really well in terms of like what he's done at different stops. At Oregon, he was tremendous. I really want Chip Kelly to be really good at UCLA. I don't know how good he really can be. I don't think he'll ever be at the Oregon level like he had the Ducks, just from a talent standpoint, but maybe. I mean, it's UCLA. It's an incredible place to recruit to. It's an incredible history, but they've got Hawaii first and then LSU coming up in week number 2 before a bye week. They went 3-4 last year. They won at home in their first home game against California, against Cal, 34-10. All right? This is a Bruins defense that should be better than they were last year, and this is a Bruins offense that should be the best that Chip Kelly has had so far. It's his 4th year here. He's got a veteran quarterback. He's got a bunch of skill players now who are seniors and juniors who have been around for a while, and I just think this is going to be one of the best offensive lines Chip Kelly has had at UCLA, one of the best receiving cores he's had at UCLA, and one of the best ground attacks he's had at UCLA. I'm not totally overlooking Hawaii and just kind of like brushing past Hawaii because they're a team that can be feisty and they can fight and they can hang around here, and they've got some talent that you have to respect, and I don't think it's going to be a complete wipeout here. Todd Graham is the coach who has been pretty good, and the defense has been better than people have thought at Hawaii for a while. But the line is 17.5. And I'm comfortable laying this here because I think UCLA in the second half puts their foot on the gas and just takes off. And I think this is going to be a big win, a statement win for Chip Kelly, who has not done well in non-conference games at all. So this is a chance to get off on the right foot. This is a chance to kind of set the tone for the game coming up the following week against LSU. There's not going to be any looking ahead, I don't think, because they know what Hawaii can do. It's a big tune-up game for this Bruins team. Ultimately, in the second half, they extend. I'm going to lay 1 full unit, UCLA, -17.5. Take the better coach, take the better quarterback, and take all this veteran depth coming back for UCLA. I know off of a 3-4 year last year, but 10 offensive starters returning and 10 defensive starters returning for UCLA, plus the quarterback. That is a monster thing for Chip Kelly to have for continuity, to understand what they want to do. The game's at home. I think they rout Hawaii. I'm laying 17.5 points here. UCLA, -17.5. -110 for a full unit. Okay? So we're going Illini +7 full unit, and we're going UCLA -17.5 full unit for us here for a start to the college football season. Okay? Now, for today, for a Tuesday, the Red Sox are -225 on the money line up against the Minnesota Twins. Boston's 3-1 so far this year. They're taking on Griffin Jackson, a 5.11 ERA. Tanner Houck going for the Red Sox, who's 0-3 but a 3.12 ERA, has had some bad luck. Twins are 24-37 on the road this year. Red Sox are 39-25. And if you had the Red Sox run line or the over in yesterday's game against Texas, what an incredible hit for you, and what a ridiculous unforeseen lucky cash. The Red Sox, it was 3-1 entering the ninth. Matt Barnes gave up 2 runs in the ninth. It's 3-3. A run gets scored at the top of the 10th. It's 4-3. Red Sox come back and score. It's 4-4. Then we go to the bottom of the 11th inning, bases loaded, nobody out, and we see a walk-off grand slam by Travis Shaw for the Red Sox, and it's an 8-4 final, over hits, run line hits, minus 3.5 hits. I mean, just ridiculousness. I think that springboards the team here into this matchup with the Twins. They need to keep winning because the Yankees keep on winning. The Yankees have won 10 games in a row. The Red Sox know that. They have to take advantage of these bad teams. Red Sox money line, but I'm coming back here with a plus 147 parlay, half a unit. Angels, Orioles. Not going to bet the run line here. I'm just going to bet the money line here. The Orioles have now lost 18 consecutive games, and Dylan Bundy has been pitching pretty well of late for the Los Angeles Angels, and Spencer Watkins is going for the Orioles, and, well, I don't mind fading some of these starting pitchers. The Angels have lost 3 games in a row. This is exactly what you need. You need to play teams like the Orioles, who basically are a AAA team. You still have Shohei Ohtani, as Dan Harris likes to yell at me for calling him Shohei. Shohei is still in this game, and I think this is a team that just comes off that 3-0 loss to the Indians. But, I mean, so far this year, 3-0, the Angels have yet to lose to the Orioles. They've won 8-7, 4-1, and 6-5, those games all being played in L.A. This game in Baltimore, where the Orioles are 17-40 at home. 17-40. The Orioles have a better road record than home record. How is that possible? I have absolutely no idea, but that's what they got. They have a better road record than home record. Angels minus 137. We're parlaying Angels money line, Red Sox money line. I thought about taking the Diamondbacks against the Pirates. I can't because of how close the D-backs came to winning. I thought about taking the Rockies here, against the Cubs against the Rockies. But again, that was a miracle come from behind cash by the Cubs. So I'm a little bit fearful that, the Cubs and the Pirates won't get the job done. I feel more confident with the Angels to get the job done, and then the Red Sox to get a big win, keep the momentum going against the Twins. So 2-leg moneyline parlay, half a unit. Red Sox, Angels, a plus 147 parlay, 2-leg moneyline parlay for us here on a Tuesday. Okay, so those are the bets for us here on a Tuesday. So I know those are 2 bets for Saturday, 1 bet for today. If I do add bettingpros.com/chat to get into the Discord channel, or underneath me, there's a link on YouTube to get in. Come on over. I may jump in with some stuff coming up here for the Major League Baseball slate today. I may have another half unit play to give you, but maybe not. We'll see what happens throughout the day. But if I do add one more half unit play, that's where I'll do it on the Discord channel. Okay? The plays, Illinois, plus 7, 1 full unit. Next, UCLA, minus 17.5, 1 full unit. Both those bets at minus 110. And then we're going plus 147, 2-leg moneyline parlay, Red Sox and the Angels today in Major League Baseball. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast right here on BettingPros.com, being brought to you by BetMGM.